Give me what I need, give me what I want this speed.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hamilton Township, New Jersey, just a few miles outside of the capital of the great Garden State of New Jersey, as we welcome you to the Trenton Fairgrounds Raceway for the penultimate qualifying session of the 2026 regular season for the NR2003 Mission Barbecue Cup Series. We're here at Trenton, set the grade for tomorrow afternoon's NJ Transit 500 here. Race number 26 of the season, and like we were talking about, the second to final race of the regular season here for the 2026 campaign of the MBCS. 42 cars ready to do battle tomorrow afternoon here at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Make it 2 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm thinking of last week, and speaking of last week's race at Old Spice, oh boy, things have certainly shaken up quite a bit. There is Keegan Thompson right now, the last driver in the chase for the championship currently, by 47 points over the defending series champion of Corey Case. We saw that 63 head out on track here a few moments ago. And he's still in his pit stall in that Grand Blue Fantasy Toyota Camry. But his teammate and team owner, Alex Sanvitale, the first one locked in on points. You look at the standings at the bottom left-hand side of your screen, as Owen Miles will jump to the top of the charts right now here, looking for win number 2 of the season. But looking at the points, Alex Sanvitale ahead by 469 points above the cut line, and he is the first driver mathematically locked into the chase for the championship for 2026. He has a 195-point lead over Zachary Fitzwater, so pretty safe to say that I believe Alex Sanvitale is absolutely going to be the favorite to win this regular season championship. But again, we got 2 races left, Trenton tomorrow and then Pensacola, the Super Speedway, this upcoming Saturday night here on the NESRN. A lot can transpire here at Trenton as Bruno Diacomo top of the charts in the 79. Trenton, you know, it's very interesting. You know, you look at this kidney bean-shaped racetrack, especially off turn 2 as Michael Lewis gets turned. That's out of turn 3, I should say, and the 54 car went sideways. He's off doing a siesta in the infield. So not exactly what you want from Michael Lewis, and that Ryobi 54 has had a miserable 2026 season so far. We'll head back out on track. But a lot of changes outside, or rather just a lot of changes around the bubble after an incredible race at the Old Spice Raceway. Again, you know, we were looking at the bottom 6 of the point standings. Danny Fallington up to 6th in the standings, 137 points above the cut line. Dano Georgia has 109. And Angel Gutierrez, first time we've seen that 18 car up in the standings, or up inside the top 10, as he's been on a really good streak as of late in that Home Depot 18 machine. Meanwhile, Riley Sampson, a lackluster finish, caused him to slide all the way down to 9th. That's not something that these drivers want to see, especially for drivers like Matthew Hubert, like Russell Blaze, Igor Barreto, and Eric Monaco, seeing a driver like Riley Sampson, only 82 points above the cut line, and a bad couple of races here would relegate him down to the wild card. Right now, Campbell Marsh on pole position, looking for his first career win in the MBCS tomorrow afternoon, getting a good slipstream off the back end of Dano Georgi. And again, Trenton has been a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde race for a lot of these drivers. Of course, you go back to the Wreckfest. That was the 2020 version of this race. Several cars going upside down, several cars wrecking out, and end up with, ironically enough, Cole Sampson taking the Octane checkered flag for his second career win in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. And then you get races, you know, like 2021, 2022, relatively caution-free. I think we had a caution for maybe once for those couple of races. Of course, Logan Alexander winning back in 2021, and trying to remember who won here back in 22. We'll pull that up here in just one moment. It was Daisy Johnson who won here back in 2022 for her only career win here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Matt Wolf and Logan Williams, 2 defending winners of this track, and right now Keegan Thompson, top of the charts in the 14. A second win on the season would drastically change things here if Keegan Thompson is able to make it 3 wins in a row for Appleseed Racing, trying to find that 14 car out on track. And This 3-car operation has been the talk of the garage area. Of course, Riley Sampson taking up most of the headlines, but Cole Sampson dominating last week, putting himself in a really good position. So if he gets a second win here tomorrow afternoon, a previous winner here, and maybe even gets a win at Pensacola, could put himself in that conversation for the wild card, especially if Riley Sampson falls out. But right now, the way they qualify, Keegan Thompson, Campbell Marsh, Wyatt Walker, Cole Sampson, speak of the devil, that 5-car, he's qualifying in 4th right now. Although he might want to drop maybe 1 position or raise up a position, because Trenton is, you look at the amount of tracks that are inside lane dominant, and Trenton is just like them here. With already 5 minutes to go in qualifying. Especially off of the start, inside lane is just so very dominant. And that's going to be a big factor here right off of the start. And again, you look at that fill window as well. We got 68 laps going on the board tomorrow. And these guys can do about 30 to 35. It's a wide window for sure. But historically, we have seen this become a 2-stop race here for the 500 miles at Trenton. You look at Alex Sanvitale, he knows he's locked in, so that's not exactly the best run for him. He's the only driver that has not ran a 34-second lap bracket right now, a 35.2 for his best lap. He ran a 35.4 that last time by. So Sanvitale's team, they're definitely taking it a little bit easier for this program. They're not racing for points. They're not racing for much of anything right now. They know that they're not exactly locked in as a number 1 seed. You look back at Zachary Fitzwater, he's 38th right now, and Sanvitale coming back down the pit lane, trying to put some swings in that Blue Archive Camry. See what he is able to do, but overall, tomorrow's going to be tough. It's not quite an endurance race, but 500 miles for any of these cars, it's a handful for these drivers as Thompson's back out on the racetrack and trying to add on to that pole time, running a 34.2. Only 2 drivers, making 3 drivers have ran a lap time in the 34.2 bracket. Pretty much everybody else running 34.3s and 34.4s, a handful of 34.5s at the bottom of the barrel, and Sanvitale, the only driver to run in the 35 section. But you look down at Trenton, it's a we talk about it all the time. It's based on track position, much like Old Spice. But again, it's got that flavor of chaos. Again, turn 3, that kidney bean right-hander down the back straightaway. It's not as crazy as Tokar here at Trenton, but it gets pretty crazy here sometimes. Last year we had a little bit of a kerfuffle. Pit road is always a very interesting scenario for drivers. Hopefully we'll try and get that fixed here for tomorrow. But you got this, and then you got Pensacola tomorrow, or next week, I should say. That's going to be a lot of fun. Final race of the regular season at a track that barely any of these drivers have raced at before. We'll have to see who raced in the 2023 edition of the New Year's 500, which we held at Pensacola. There's Alexander Rowe. Roberto Crown Jr. up in the top 5 of the 21. Right now, the top 10 qualifying-wise would be Keegan Thompson, Marsh, Walker, Cole Sampson, Crown Jr., Ryan Durrani, Aaron Abel, Bryce Egan, Nathan Stapleton, and Dylan Matthews. Swap around Matthews and Stapleton, actually, and you've got 9th and 10th. A really good run for Dylan Matthews. Qualifying well so far in that 75 Camry. Bradley Ream up in here as well. Although there's those drivers on the bubble as we're down to the final minute of qualifying. Angel Gutierrez in that 18, currently somewhere on the grid. He's currently in 39th, so really down at the bottom. Trying to find Riley Sampson. Actually, we'll throw... actually, Daniel Bouchard is plus 246 above the cut line, so he's not really in the hunt. We'll look down at Riley Sampson. He's 33rd right now, so not a great qualifying result. Good thing is, he would be, as of right now, starting on the inside lane. Dano Georgia, he's plus he's 100 above the cut line, so I'd say, a solid top 20 finish would be decent for him. He's qualified in 15th, so he's exactly where he needs to be. And of course, Keegan Thompson starting on the pole position. He's in a really good spot. Corey Case, on the other hand, starting 37th. Same thing with Riley Sampson. Starting on the inside lane, but really deep in the field. Logan Williams, the defending winner here in that 17 car, 24th on the outside lane. And that should wrap up qualifying for these drivers. We'll probably get about a minute of bonus time. We'll see if Alex San Vitale is able to get a little bit faster than that 35.2. But it looks like that should be doing it all here. These drivers, 30 more seconds will go on the board, but it looks like Rally Alberta's Keegan Thompson will finally get that second pole position of the year. He will go into tomorrow afternoon with the best chance to win the NJ Transit 500, going for the penultimate race of the season, the penultimate race of the regular season. With 10 seconds to go here in Q, that should just about do it as we take a look at the qualifying results. Keegan Thompson going to sit on the pole position for tomorrow afternoon's race and only beating out Campbell Marsh by 1/1000th of a second. How about that for a pole time for the Riley Albertan? Marsh will start on the outside pole. Wyatt Walker, Cole Sampson, Roberto Crown Jr., Ryan Durrani will be the starting six, with Aaron Abel, Bryce Egan, Dylan Matthews, and Nathan Stapleton rounding out the top 10. You look all the way down here at those drivers on the bubble. Angel Gutierrez, Corey Sampson, Riley Sampson. Corey Case, I should say. Angel Gutierrez, Riley Sampson. We'll throw Matthew Hubert in there as well because he is currently in based on the first wild card, but he's only got a handful of point lead over Russell Blaze right now. Blaze in the 29, qualified. Trying to find, well, there's Dano Georgi in 15th. And again, Georgi's got 2 wins on the season, so he should be fine to make the wild card. We talk about Logan Williams. He's in 24th. And Russell Blaze is going to be qualifying in 12th, so a solid starting spot for him. So the drivers that can mathematically lock themselves in tomorrow afternoon, Sam Vitale is already locked in. Zachary Fitzwater, Daniel Bouchard, and Bryce Egan are the 3 drivers that have a chance to mathematically lock themselves in. Actually, we'll throw Alexander Rowe and Danny Fallington in there. So 5 drivers have a chance to mathematically lock themselves into the chase for the championship with stellar runs tomorrow afternoon. But Keegan Thompson, looking for that second win on the season, could very well be one of those drivers that could, lock himself in the chase for the championship with a second win and a dominant run here tomorrow. But we'll have to just go ahead and find out here tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, live from Hamilton Township, New Jersey. It's race number 26 of the regular season, the penultimate race of the regular season here for the 2026 running of the NJ Transit 500 here for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. We'll be back here tomorrow afternoon right here on your home for the NBCS, the North American Sim Racing Network.